A decade in the making, the redevelopment of the former Department of Mental Health campus on Bull Street is close to breaking ground. The project is considered to be the largest development in any major downtown east of the Mississippi. City leaders say the project will transform the capital city, bringing restaurants, retail, offices, housing, and even a baseball team.
It really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and the council and the city stepping up to help with the public infrastructure portion of Bull Street. It's a big deal.
Source of funding is the #1 issue right now. So before we start thinking about how many jobs, let's find out how we're going to pay or bring $71 million to fund the Bull Street.
But not everyone is on board with the 181-acre land deal. Councilman Mo Bedora argues the city's own attorney, Ken Gaines, warned council not to approve the Bull Street development deal. In a letter dated July 8th, the day before council approved the Bull Street proposal, Gaines advised city leaders of significant legal and financial risks the city could be held responsible for under the current agreement. In the memo, Gaines warns council that the agreement with Greenville developer Bob Hughes could potentially leave Columbia on the hook for more than $50 million.
And that's what makes it a bad deal for the city. It makes it a bad deal for the city because it was pushed through, not getting all the details. It was obviously advised by our city attorneys not to make the deal or sign the contract because of many reasons. And it's obvious that the source of funding is a huge problem.
A document from a June City Council work session shows almost 24 different sources tied to taxes, including hospitality, alcohol and tobacco taxes, and water and sewer funds. However, Benjamin pointing out that redevelopment will add 180 acres of new land to the city's tax roll.
The Bull Street campus represents an area of land that's 2.5 times the size of downtown Columbia. We have 5 public garages in downtown Columbia. We committed to 2 for Bull Street.
The project also catching the eyes of historical leaders. While the agreement says it will protect several of the historically significant buildings on the property, including the Babcock Building, the Williams Building, the Chapel of Hope, and Tree Alley, the Historic Columbia Foundation is afraid too many of the buildings will be torn down simply due to a lack of planning.
How we're going to fund and how we're going to pay for the roads and everything else that's going on at the baseball stadium, the parking garages. We need to determine how much money we're going to fund or put into the project so for us to understand what's the rate of return.
The reality is that if Columbia is going to survive and thrive, then we've got to grow. We've got to take advantage of the opportunity that is Bull Street. We've got to take advantage of developing the riverfront for the first time in 240 years. We've got to recognize and realize that great cities grow from the inside out.
The first business on the Bull Street property could open as early as next year. The city expects full development of the project to take 20 years. In downtown Columbia, Rob Starkey, WACH Fox News.